Hi, welcome. You're here for a very interesting topic, a topic that is something that we all think we are very familiar, but in reality, many of us have a lot of confusion. The topic I'm going to be talking to you today is about driving growth. You want growth, your boss wants growth, your children want growth, your teachers want growth. Your family wants you to grow. But growth is something that we all want. But the problem is, why is it that we can't drive the growth? Repeat the same question again. Why we can't drive the growth? It is because the way we set the goals. Right? First and foremost, by setting, that's why if you notice, drive growth by bright goals. Hey, now your goal cannot be any goal. A lot of people don't have goals, and some people who set goals, they have goals, but the goals are not bright. So how do you make a bright goal? And it is not just the bright goal, the goal has to be right. That is why the word right is underlined. So now we need to drive growth through bright goals. Collaboration is the key, because I cannot achieve my goals however individual I am in isolation. I am operating in a world. I am operating with people. In every organization, there are departments. In every family, there are members, right? So if I need to achieve my goals, I need to participate in creating a goal. So that is why the key element in setting a goal is actually working on collaboration. Collaboration, creativity, creating a goal, not by accepting a goal because somebody wants me to achieve it. Then there is lack of ownership, lack of responsibility, the goals remain unachieved. So if you want to drive growth, one of the key is, okay, let's do a collaborative effort. Yes, I know that you're all smiling, probably some of you already hey, I knew this. That is why in our department, we sat together and did the goal. Yes, my dear friend, you sat in your department, and that's where the problem comes. Please understand, every organization is full of organizational rivalry, interdepartmental rivalry, interpersonal rivalry. Collaboration doesn't happen because as a team, as a department, we sit together and work a goal. So then what should you do? So then there is a science. Goal setting is not just an art. Goal setting is not for somebody at the top to be giving it. Goal setting is something that we created. We created with our hands. We created with our minds. We created because we want to make things happen. And that is where you drive growth. So then what do we do? How do we go about? Very simple, very artistic, very scientific concept is called pruning the problem tree. See, in fact, what we did was we took a bunch of very, very senior people, right, who wanted to set goals for their organization to drive growth. So we said, come, you draw a tree. We divided the teams into 8 teams. And he said, come on, each one of the teams, you draw a tree, right? And we give them, flip chart paper like this. So they went about and then drew the tree. Once you drew the tree, we said, okay, now listen, put down, right, discuss. And the teams now, when I say teams, they were not department-wise teams. They were teams made up of cross functions. People, each member represented a different team. So the whole idea is to bring in collaboration. They don't work in isolated department-wise teams or project teams. They work together because this is an organizational goal. The same thing can be applied to the family or to the personal dimension as well. What happened here? A tree, the root of the tree actually represents the root causes. Whereas if you talk about the leaves, they talk about the effects. You talk about the trunk, they are the building blocks of how the goal should progress and how the goal should move forward. And of course, fruits are your solution. So now every organization, every team, every project, every family has issues, has problems, has situations. So our idea is we cannot set goals if we do not identify the effects, we don't identify the solutions, we don't identify the root causes, right? So these are very, very critical dimension. So this tree becomes very useful analogy to help understand the corporate complexity of setting a goal. And then what happened? As I said earlier, goals are not given, you arrive by participation. So we said, okay, now how do we make people participate? So we identified You can identify many verticals. We identified 8 verticals. And I tell you, in the workshop that we have been facilitating across the globe in different, very reputed organizations, many of them are multinationals of high repute, what happens is there is a huge take. Why? Now people who are sitting and discussing have forgotten their interdepartmental rivalry. They are coming together. They are collaborating. They are one team today, right? To make things happen. They sit together. They discuss and then put down. Of course, it is not easy. Some of them, yes, sometimes they do have challenges of how do they articulate, because when you write a goal, we have been talking about the SMART principle, right? We need to be specific, measurable, realistic, right? Achieving or attainable and in time bound. So now what happens sometimes, some of us, can have some challenges quantifying, important key behaviors which need to be actually measurable. So goal is something that is measurable from time to time. So when we write the goals, it has to be taken to all the smarter principles. So that is one dimension where facilitation, breaks a very good impact and a very important key foundation for a successful goal setting exercise. When we took back at the result and then reviewed it, we realized that there were a lot of repeats across verticals. So then we said, okay, then the goal setting exercise cannot just stop here, right? Then what we need to do, let's go one step further. We again now reassemble the teams, rework the teams. Instead of 8 teams or 9 teams that we had based on vertical wise teams, we combined them and we reallocated, remingled the people. And we said, okay, now you look at what are the factors which are common, right? And what are the factors which can be actually zeroed in, right? You'd have one more round of discussion and then fine tune your findings in terms of the problem tree, because we need to start pruning now. The pruning took away a lot of commonalities, took away a lot of repeat ideas, even though said in different words. So the teams discussed, they arrived at a consensus, hey, this is what will stay on these verticals. So now already there is consensus among the team. Even though they are from different functions, from different teams, they are sitting together, working their ideas out. And that was the brilliant part. And now once that was achieved, the next step is very easy. Now that we agree on the different verticals as to how the organization should progress, now you take this wonderful work, go back into your department. Now you sit with your department and say, hey, listen, if my department, how do I set my goals and go forward? And this is only the beginning. Now what happens in the organization? Now the team will arrive and they will take back to the respective departments, has several teams. So they will take it back to the team. They will work from the team upwards and it will drill down to the individual. So what happens now? We combine the individual goal, right? The team goal as well as the departmental goal. And all the department goals together is the organizational goal. So now if every individual has achieved it, the team is successful. Right? If every team achieves it, your department is successful. Every department gets it, right? As an organization, you have probably not just met your goals, probably surpassed. Goals are a means to the end. So that is why a lot of people say, okay, set goals, let's drive growth. No, you drive growth. And because you want to drive growth, you set goals, and you don't set any ordinary goal. You set the right goals, and it cannot be just the right goal. It has to be the bright goal, because there has to be bright sparks. Your organization should see benefit in that, in terms of higher revenues, higher productivity, higher profits, and growth for all. My dear friends, take a look. Think about it. I want you to reflect. I want you to introspect on this wonderful scientific psychology-driven facilitation process, which involves activities, which involves games, right? In fact, we took them to a lot of activities, a lot of energizers. Why? The whole idea is to bring in collaboration. Whole idea is to understand that, look, goal setting cannot happen. The games that we played, many games that we played, actually drove the essence of communication. Look, communication is the blood of every goal setting process. And we need to make sure the communication is right. I wanted to say this, and what I said and what I thought I said and what the person understood can all be different. So the whole idea is get the communication correct, and that to make these simple dimensions understandable. Some of the beautiful behavioral games lend in a very credible hand, because then it is not about lecturing, then it is not about advising, it is about making people participate, making people take ownership, making people commit, and that's where your success is. You want to drive growth in your organization? You want to know how to set right goals? You want to set the bright goals? Want to make sure that you achieve, right, your dreams, your desires in terms of growth and excellence. Thank you very much. Here is a way. And if you want to know more, always welcome. Thank you. Bye-bye.